Kids and dogs. Lack of avocation. Almost all bites within the home are preventable. In our society, we have a gross misunderstanding of what dogs should be required to tolerate, about as much as we have a gross misunderstanding about informed consent. So this one will be pretty short because we're just going to talk about decompression. And I wanted these to kind of thaw out a little bit so I could show you a little easier. But here's what we've got left. These are our little broth popsicles. So I'm going to go plop this out in the front yard right under this tree. Find it. And he's going to go work on that. That's what I do when we get home in the mornings. Let me get a paper towel, guys. That's what I do when we get home in the mornings because I have to sit down and work for a bunch of hours, and I want to make sure that he's not all amped up from whatever it is that we were doing. So it may have been going to the river, it may have been Fred, it may have been, whatever it is, the many things that we do. Can you see him? Oh, you can't see him from that angle. Okay, I'll show you in a minute. So he's licking his popsicle right now. The other thing is I like these. I like these because I know he's not going to swallow it whole. I know he's going to get all of this marrow stuff, whatever's in there, out. And it's really hard to splinter pieces of this off. So he chews on it for a little while and he loses interest. And then I just pick him up and throw him away. I understand that everyone has an opinion about bones. I can tell you my anecdotal evidence as a person who has done anesthesia for more canine surgeries than I could ever possibly quantify. A lot. I've assisted in so many different kinds of surgeries and always anesthesia because the techs always do the anesthesia. Ham bones, pulled out a bunch of ham bones from dogs. That's just a no. We just all know, no ham bones. I've seen one dog ever have like a rupture, an intestinal rupture from chicken bones. It was a small dog and it ate an entire cooked chicken. I've never seen, like, say, a lab come in because he ate a chicken wing that was cooked and it punctured his fucking... I've just never seen that. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. I'm just saying there's a lot of buzz around something that's actually an outlier. Okay? So when people are like, oh my God, I wouldn't feed that because of this, or oh my God, I wouldn't feed that because it could break your dog's teeth. Well, okay. I clean dogs' teeth for a living while they were under anesthesia. So I would say that I have like a abnormally appropriate knowledge of what breaks dogs' teeth, what happens if they do break a tooth, what are they breaking their teeth on, what's the likely thing that they're going to break their teeth on. And a lot of the stuff that people are getting upset about, I've never seen a dog come in with that particular injury or that particular foreign body surgery. I've literally not one. And that tells me something. I've seen dogs that have had pieces of lead the size of hockey pucks pulled out of their stomachs. We don't even know how they swallowed it. I've seen dogs that have swallowed entire retractable mop handles. I've seen dogs that have swallowed jewelry, coins, straight up mortar, cement mix, Easter egg grass, tons of panties, tons of sex toys, tons of every single thing that dogs could eat. I've seen it. I can't recall ever having a surgery. I don't recall ever having a surgery where a dog had this or a piece of this that killed them. I just don't, or that they even needed surgery for. So I use my actual experience and knowledge because it's much more beneficial to me than the reels that are on Instagram because I know the truth. The truth is, occasionally I give my dog an antler. If he was out in the wild, he would be chewing on antlers. Like, their teeth are really, really, really strong. I don't do it all the time or often because I'm aware that occasionally a dog can break their tooth on an antler. That's something that does happen. But you know, dogs like rocks too. I had a dog that had a pet rock. Sorry, I've known multiple people that have dogs that like rocks and will carry them around, and they're just as likely to chip their tooth on that as they are on an antler. I've also seen dogs, this is probably the majority, that we never know how they chip their tooth, and their parents don't give them anything even remotely like any of that stuff. So, use your discretion. What is the importance of decompression, and what is it really? I think the easiest way to explain it is it's the process of coming down from drugs. Just kidding. But sometimes that's the way I like to think of it. It's just not relevant to people that have never done that. It's a real sticky period. You know, you just were like this, and stimulated, stimulant, and your body can only take so much. And so when people say, I was coming down, that's what they mean. It's the process of, I'm not going to put this in my body anymore. I'm not going to put the stimulants in anymore. I'm not going to let anything else in. But now that I've been doing that for a prolonged period of time, my body, like, and my brain hurt. Like he's trying to get out of the yard. Look. This is important. We'll see what he does. I'm going to come stand over here so I can talk to you. Hopefully you can see him. Yeah, you can see him. Oh, he's going out. He's going to get caught. I am always watching. Get back in this yard right now, sir. Come on. You're not supposed to be over there. You're not supposed to be over there. Come back in the yard. Am I going to have to come out there and get you? No, that was not me laughing. Come on. You're not to be out there. Come on. Come on. Yeah, okay. We'll go back inside and let him be. That's when people ask, they're like, how'd you get him to stay in the yard? That. I'm always watching. Anyway, so when you're stimulated for a long period of time, you have to come down, and that's what decompression is. But for a dog to just feel that way, that sucks. Okay, he's coming back. Like, it sucks. Nobody wants to feel that way, and if you've never felt it, I'm glad for you. But we can do something to help their nervous system in that ramping down process to where not only is it more comfortable, but it's reassociating that entire feeling of coming down with something else that's positive that you like, which is food. If, you, as in if you were the dog. Yeah? So whenever I come back from doing whatever we do, before I sit down, I make sure that my dog has an opportunity to activate his parasympathetic nervous system, like for a long time, and at least 10 to 15 minutes. And he really just the same as, let's take another example that's not drugs for the people that haven't done them. Good for you. I'm proud of you. When you come home from work and you're still amped, that time period where you are not amped in between there, that's decompression. What are you doing that makes sense to you? Maybe you got to take your bra off immediately. Maybe you got to put your slippers on like I do. Maybe you need to, before you can do anything, you have to take a shower. But there's all these methods that we have to decompress. And so we have to provide that opportunity for our dogs, because guess what? They're living in the same world. It's stressful. It's overstimulating. It's full of unforeseen things that are just going to pop up. And so when we have an outing, a walk, or whatever, and we're out in the world and we've been using our skills and doing all of this stuff, I still know I still know to treat my dog like an introvert. I just remember that. I treat him like an introvert, and when he gets home, I know that that's his time to recharge his batteries and decompress, and then we'll always be ready for fun. And I know that my dog's baseline won't be real high up here every time we start, because that's not what, I can turn it. See, when you don't micromanage and you just uphold the expectations and you allow them to make choices, you heavily reinforce the area, you don't let them do the bad behavior, undesirable. You don't let them do the undesirable thing. You immediately, whoa. And you can do whatever you want. And that's something he can do. So I'm not going to say anything to him, and he's going to enjoy his little time. Now, he knows that I'm talking to you. So he's like, I'm just going to see if she'll notice. Of course I noticed. Anyway. So get your little silicone trays. Get your bones. I love bully sticks too. And that little bully holder that I have, that's another thing. We do those more like in the winter. Lick mats. You can freeze lick mats. He's laying down again. You can freeze lick mats and put them in the freezer so they last longer, and give those. You can do a little bit of their food in a snuffle mat. Anything that's going to like woo-saw them. Bonus points if you know that reference. Okay, head to your mini packs. And what I want you to do is talk about what you do for decompression. And if you're currently not doing anything, talk about what sounds like something that you could feasibly do and make a goal to do that. Okay, because I realize that sometimes this is the first time anybody's heard about that, and that's okay. Because there was one time when it was the first time I heard about it, and now it's a huge part of our life, and it really benefits Enzo, and it helps me be a person that I feel like I can say I really successfully work from home with children and a dog and multiple other animals. I feel like I have time for everybody, and that everybody gets taken care of, and other people can do what I'm doing too. It's not, we all know, left alone to her own devices, she'd be outside roller skating, trying on different shades of lip gloss.